College football is officially underway, which means we are officially back. I'm so excited for college football to start. So I'm going to give you my predictions on week one of the college football season. Tonight, I'm recording this on August 29th, so the Thursday before the Saturday of the games start. And there's already some games going on. We have Colorado struggling with North Dakota State and NC State struggling with Western Carolina. So we're already off to a good start of the season. But I'm going to give you my picks on some of the ranked games going on Friday and Saturday, and some of the games that I think are fun. And I'm going to continue to do this each week. They're probably going to get shorter. I'm probably just going to do some of the bigger games overall. But yeah, this week, since it's week one, I thought I'd do as many as I could and some more games. So let's just get right into it. Now, every week I am going to start with UMass. I'm going to do UMass every week. They're my NCAA 25 rebuild dynasty team. And it's also an inside joke between a buddy of mine. So, yeah, going to go with UMass every week. They were 3-9 last year. Not the best showing. They lost the Cum Bowl to UConn. But they have Eastern Michigan at home to start the year. And I'm going to give it to my boys, the Minutemen. UMass going to take the win home. I think it'll be a close game. Not high scoring. I'll say 17-13 UMass. Go Minutemen. But actually getting into it, we're going to start out with Oklahoma against Temple. Temple's at Oklahoma. Oklahoma 42-point favorites. And I think they'll cover, man. Oklahoma always comes out strong. Now, obviously, lose Dylan Gabriel, but, you know, they're going to be good. They're going to be really, really good this year. I think they definitely could beat Texas. Texas is really, really good this year, but I think that's going to be a really great game down the stretch. But yeah, give me Oklahoma. Pretty easy. Now we have 25th ranked Iowa against Illinois State. I think they're an FCS team. They have to be. I've never really even heard of them. But yeah, obviously going to take Iowa in this one. Still going to be low scoring. Obviously, we know Iowa can't score, but I don't see Illinois State scoring on that Iowa defense. Iowa did play in the Big Ten Championship last year due to how good their defense was. Obviously, they lost some key guys in Cooper DeJean and others, but still going to be a super solid defense. That's what they do over there in Iowa. Easy. Give me the Hawkeyes. Now we have Chattanooga going into Tennessee. Tennessee's going to be good again this year. I don't know how good, but they're definitely still going to be good. They're 38.5-point favorites. I don't know if they cover. We'll see. They should put up a lot of points, so maybe they do cover. Chattanooga, I think, also an FCS school. Definitely taking Tennessee here. I think they're going to be a fun team this year. Again, they've been fun in the past couple of years with Heupel in that offense. So I'm excited to see how they come out and play this year. Oklahoma State against South Dakota State. South Dakota State, 15-0, won the FCS last year. Oklahoma State only 9.5-point favorites. I definitely think they're going to take this one home, but it will be a tricky game for them. South Dakota State's going to come out. It's going to be a big, huge game for them. I don't know if they play anyone else big down the stretch, but this is a huge game for them and their program. And I definitely think that they're going to give Oklahoma State a run for their money. I will take Oklahoma State. I'm not even sure they cover, though. I think it'll be a close game, maybe like a 21-20, super down-to-the-wire type game. I think it'll be a fun one. Definitely check this one out if you can. I think it'll be actually a really good game. Now we have Texas at home against Colorado State. Another blowout for you. Texas really, 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 really good this year. National championship hopeful team. I think they blow out Colorado State. I think it's like a, 50-0 type game. Texas is going to dominate them. I'm not sure Colorado State even scores. Texas is that good. So, yeah, give me Texas. Now we have the game on here that I will be attending on Saturday. My Buckeyes at home against the Akron Zips, who were atrocious last year. I'm going to say 66-10. Buckeyes, obviously. Got the new look offense, new look defense, ton of transfers, ton of new guys. Jeremiah Smith, Will Howard, Quinson Judkins. The list goes on and on. Caleb Downs. The Buckeyes are national championship favorites along with your Georgia or Oregon, Texas type teams. And they're going to blow out Akron this week. And I cannot wait for that Ohio State against Oregon matchup in week 7. I think that's going to be such a great game. Cannot wait for that. But yeah, give me the Buckeyes. All right, now we have Bama against Western Kentucky. Obviously, Nick Saban era's over. Kalen DeBoer is going to come right in. And I think Bama's going to be really good this year. I don't see why they wouldn't. Obviously, they lost some big transfers last year. Still, Jalen Milroe is Jalen Milroe. He's going to lead this team to some big wins. And Western Kentucky, they're high scoring usually, but no match for Alabama. Alabama wins this one easy. I know, another blowout. Ole Miss, who got really, really good in the offseason, lost some transfers, but brought some big ones in, taking on Furman. They actually had a pretty good year in the FCS last year, but no match for Ole Miss, 42.5-point favorites, and I think they will cover. Really, really good roster for Ole Miss, and I think that they also are one of those national championship hopeful type teams this year, along with Alabama, who I just talked about. Those top 6 teams are really, really strong this year, and I think Ole Miss blows out Furman in this one. Kansas State, UT Martin. No more Will Howard for Kansas State. Doesn't matter. Kansas State dominates UT Martin in this one. A lot of easy games for these teams in the beginning of the season. That's how it usually goes with these high-ranked teams, these great programs. They take on some weaker teams in the beginning of the year. So yeah, I'm going to go with Kansas State here and an easy win against UT Martin. Here's a fun one. Syracuse and Kyle McCord at home against Ohio, who was really, really good in the MAC last year. Kyle McCord, obviously Ohio State's starting quarterback last year, had his struggles, couldn't beat Michigan, and decided to transfer because he knew his time at Ohio State was likely over. Goes to Syracuse. He's got a good supporting cast around him. They're at home this week, but give me the Bobcats. I like Ohio a lot this year. And I just don't think Kyle McCord is very good. I hope that he plays well. I'm a Buckeye fan, so I will root for Kyle McCord. But I like the Bobbies in this one, and I think it's going to be a really, really good game. Don't sleep on this game. Don't sleep on the MAC. Trust me. Give me the Bobcats in a close one. Moving on to the defending national championships, the cheaters themselves. I'm just kidding. The Michigan Wolverines at home against Fresno State. Fresno State's usually pretty good. Michigan's only favored by 21 in this game. I really don't see that. I know they have a whole new look offense. Lost a lot of guys on offense. Also some guys on defense. New head coach. I get it. I still think that they dominate this one. I just don't see Fresno State putting up much of a fight in the big house. Yeah, Michigan's going to win this one big. Next up, we got the New Mexico Lobos, who are already 0-1 on the season, going in to Arizona, 21th ranked team in the country. Did really, really well in the Pac-12 last year. We'll see how they fare in the Big 12 this year. Obviously did really, really well in the Pac-12 last year. But Big 12, still a really good conference. Obviously no Oklahoma and Texas, but still really good. Obviously going to take Arizona in this one big time. New Mexico has just not been good in a long time. It never really was, but yeah, New Mexico, no. Give me Arizona by a lot. Here's a really interesting one. This one's on Sunday, not Saturday, and it's Boston College at Florida State. Florida State obviously taking that big loss. Well, not big loss, but close loss to Georgia Tech in Ireland. Now they're getting to come home, play at home against a pretty decent Boston College team. I don't think this game will be a blowout, but I do see Florida State winning by at least 2 scores. There's no way that they come off of that loss and lose again, in my opinion. I think they're going to have a bounce back week, and that's the beauty of it this year with the 12-team playoff. Florida State still very much in it. In the past, a loss to Georgia Tech like that, their season's over. They cannot make the playoff. This year, 12-team playoff, they're not out of it even in the slightest. They can make a big comeback throughout the year. It's going to be tough, for sure. But Florida State's still very much in it. They still have a great roster. Not the biggest fan of DJ Uiagalelei, but still think that they're going to be pretty good throughout the year, and I'm definitely going to take them by 2 scores in this game. Another exciting one here. We've got Penn State going to West Virginia to start their season. Penn State, the 8th ranked team in the country. It's going to be a really tough game for the Nittany Lions. Only favored by 7.5 as of right now. And I'm actually going to go with West Virginia in this one. I just don't trust in Drew Aller. I watched him play in those games against Ohio State, Michigan, other Big Ten opponents last year, and he really just didn't look very good. He probably did progress over the offseason, but how much, I don't know. So I like West Virginia a lot this year. I do think that they are contenders to win the Big 12, as crazy as it sounds. West Virginia is a really good team, really solid foundation, and I'm going to have them upsetting Penn State. Huge upset week 1, and I think it's definitely possible. Obviously, Penn State can definitely win this game, but yeah, I'm going to have the big upset in week 1, West Virginia over Penn State. Now we're getting into the top 4 games of the week. There's 4 really, really good games this week. Super excited to sit down and watch them. First up, Miami at Florida. Now, Miami, I feel like, is always overranked at the beginning of the year, and so is Florida. These teams have really struggled as of late. Mario Cristobal still hanging around in Miami. I really don't understand why. I think he's a pretty terrible coach, but that's just my opinion. I'm going to take the Gators in this one. I think they pull off the upset at home, super loud environment. Ton of people are going to be there. I think the Gators pull it off. They have a really long stretch of super tough games this year, Florida does. So I think that they're going to have to come out of the gate strong. I think they will do that against Miami in week 1. Next up, we have Notre Dame going down to College Station in one of the loudest stadiums in the country in Kyle Field, taking on 24th ranked Texas A&M. Yeah, this is a tough one, man. I think A&M definitely got a little bit worse over the offseason, but Notre Dame has struggled in the beginning of the season in recent years. I'm still going to take Notre Dame and the Fighting Irish this week, though. I just think they're a better team. Briley Leonard coming over from Duke. He's going to be a starter there. Marcus Freeman, fantastic coach. Really has been overly hated, in my opinion, as Notre Dame's head coach. Obviously, he lost that really bad game against Marshall a few years back, but really, other than that, his losses have been to really, really good teams like Ohio State. So I really do think Notre Dame is going to be a force to be reckoned with this year, and I think they're going to show it week 1 at Kyle Field by beating Texas A&M. All right, the penultimate game, this one's at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. 23rd ranked team in the country, USC, taking on the 13th ranked team in the country, LSU. Both of these teams lost their star quarterback in the offseason to the NFL draft, and they're both looking for some fresh starts. I am going to take LSU, even though it feels more like a home game for USC. I just think USC has some rebuilding to do. New quarterback. Their defense was really, really bad last year, and it didn't really get much better in the offseason. And LSU kind of stayed good. Obviously lost some good receivers, good quarterback, but I think LSU has that talent still to maintain one of the top teams in the country, and I think they will show that against USC in Las Vegas. And finally, the biggest game of the week, in my opinion, 14th ranked Clemson going to Mercedes-Benz Stadium, which will basically be a home game for the number 1 team in the country, the Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia's favored by 11.5. I think this game's going to be actually a lot closer than people think. I think Clemson's going to be really good this year, man. As much as I hate to say it, it's true. I think Clemson is going to have a bounce back year after they've been kind of poor in the last couple of years. But still going to have to take Georgia in this one. I think it'll be close, maybe a 3 or 7 point game. Carson Beck is just too good. He did lose his best weapon in Brock Bowers to the draft, but that defense is just way too good. And I think Clemson just won't have enough firepower against it. And I think that's why Georgia does beat Clemson week 1. But yeah, that's it for this video today. I just wanted to go in and talk about some college football, talk about some fun games of week 1. I think I'm going to do this every week. Probably going to do it for the NFL too. I don't know about every game for the NFL. We'll see. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you wanted to see that. I've got another couple videos planned on posting in the near future. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.